hosting by Amber in my kitchen, where today we are welcoming my dear friend Amy. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming up and spending the time with us today. Today we are going to be making a yummy lemon chicken white bean soup, nourishing for our soul, packed with protein. It's just as nourishing as our friendship. Do you know that you were my very first friend when I moved to Utah? 25 years ago. Where has the time gone?
So crazy.
We have raised our babies together, and then we've moved to different cities. Both you and I had second chances at love again, and you started a new family with your new husband, and you've been busy with your beautiful life, navigating life and all the chaos of raising kiddos. Now you have a preteen and a teen. I don't know how you do it all. But we're going to make this simple, easy meal. And I'm going to walk you through it. And we're going to talk about your journey to sobriety. So cheers to your second year.
Cheers. Thank you.
Of sobriety. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. And to get started, I'm going to just get the oven going. I'm going to turn this on a medium heat. I'm going to get some olive oil heated up. We're going to pour some onions in here. And this soup is so easy. I can't even tell you how easy this soup is to make. In fact, it's almost embarrassing how easy this soup is.
Oh, I love it. And it sounds delicious.
Well, you don't have any allergies, lucky.
Right.
But if you do, this is a gluten-free soup, and we do put some Parmesan cheese in it, but we can always eliminate if you had a dairy allergy. So it's pretty simple. We're going to start off by putting in our onions, letting those saute. This soup honestly doesn't take very much time. I'm all about simplicity. The more simple, the easier it is. I don't like spending hours and hours upon hours in the kitchen, especially with a busy life, and that's you. You have a husband, kiddos, school, homeschooling, after-school activities, and trying to fit it all in and making a nourishing meal. And I always say you've got to nourish yourself from the inside so you can nourish all the ones around you that you love. And putting all your love into any meal is key. And I think that's also part of how we can fuel ourselves and energize ourselves and our soul. So,
Absolutely.
Do you remember when we met 25 years ago?
Yes, it's funny. I was just thinking about it the other day when I came to come shop for baby clothes.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
I was selling baby clothes.
Well, but even before that, it was at the restaurant, right? And then I came to your house, or it was vice versa?
It was vice versa because you came over, you found I was selling baby clothes. I was a retailer in this teeny tiny little small town in Utah. I knew nobody. You came over, you were so much fun, such a good energy. And then you were at dinner at a restaurant that night with your then husband. I went to dinner with my then husband, and we all just hung out. And then that's when you had Kendall, and then I started having my babies, and we were raising babies together.
Yeah.
And having fun.
Yes.
And then we moved to different cities. But you've always remained my soul sister, always. Even through all these years and you living your life, I'm living my life. And then we'd get together for the occasional celebratory dinner.
Yes.
Which is always fun. Okay, our onions are sizzling. And I'm going to do, this is a half an onion that I diced. And now I'm going to do 4 cloves of garlic that I've minced. And then I have fresh herbs. I have 2 sprigs of rosemary, 3 sprigs of thyme, and I like some spice. I like a little kick. I'm a
Yeah.
little spicy, as you know. And so I put some hot peppers in here. And I mean, can you smell it? It's very fragrant.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can smell it already. It smells so good.
So about a minute to get everything going. Once you smell all those fragrance, then we're going to stir in. I have 2 tablespoons of tahini. So we're going to stir in this 2 tablespoons of tahini. And this helps to make it that creaminess. Again, we can do this without dairy if you don't want the Parmesan. And then I did a white bean mixture. I did this ahead of time. And all this is 1 can rinsed white beans, 1 cup chicken broth that I blend together. So that goes in. And then we do our white beans, which I have another can. So a total of 2 can white beans, 1 can chickpeas. So again, like I said, this is just packed with protein. And this is such an easy, yummy soup. This takes no time. It doesn't need to sit on your stove all day. It's ready within 25 minutes. It's that easy. And then, so the remaining chicken broth. So a total of 4 cups chicken broth. And we let that go. And we're gonna pour in our carrots. And what I did is I did 2 carrots chopped up. I do mine kind of small. I think if you're eating a soup, and there's a lot in here. And then I'm going to let this boil for just a second. Kind of get everything pulled together. And then once that boils, we are going to reduce that heat for about 25 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, well, we're going to let the soup simmer for about 20-25 minutes, and we can sit and chat. So walk us through the day, or starting the days that finally pushed you to say enough. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm done.
You know, it's interesting. So it was probably getting closer to the end of 2023. And it had actually been like a few years, I think, of being curious about it. And in my inner self, kind of like little thoughts of like, you know, maybe this isn't serving you, you know, like I was starting to kind of realize and kind of like what maybe alcohol was doing inside. And I just...
Wait, pause for a minute. And like, meaning how it was affecting you, or you were reading research that was actually stating alcohol is not good for you because of the toxins or poisons?
I think it was first just my own relationship with alcohol. But I did hearing more and more about what alcohol medically is doing inside, you know, so there was some of that, but I think that came later, more of like the real effects that way. But at first, I think it was just more internal. Like I just wasn't liking how I was feeling after. Like I would love, you know, my glass of wine, drinking. It was like a celebratory thing all the time. You know, I loved wine. I loved champagne. I loved Prosecco. You know what I mean? And just like
it is. It is a celebratory.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol it's a social thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. But I had drank, you know, really I kind of started drinking really young, and then just kept up with it. And then, you know, throughout my kids' lives, and when I was getting closer, you know, towards the end, towards 2023, or at the end of that, I just knew that something needed to stop, you know, and I was starting to get anxiety, which I'd never had before. I would wake up in the middle of the night, like I would kind of pass out in a way, you know, and just be out and then wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning almost every night or morning, and just have a raging headache, And just the older I got too, I just couldn't, the alcohol wasn't processing like it used to inside me, you know, and I think with the hormones and perimenopause and all that, it was just really affecting me so much different and so much harder to recover each day. And it was basically, even if I didn't drink that much at night, it would just affect me so hard. And so, you know, but again, it was just like back to starting with little things that I would hear or see on social media about hearing someone sober, even if it was like a celebrity or someone I knew on Facebook who had posted about them being sober. It really intrigued me, but I was like, I wonder how they're doing that. You know what I mean? Like being in such a, if they were a celebrity, like how could you do that when you have like all this social stuff around, right? And it's just a thing to do and whatnot. And so I started saving like a little folder in like Instagram or something that was like under sober. I would like just start saving things and
that's a great idea.
yeah. And so, and I would, when it came closer, like in 2023, I was probably following more sober accounts and stuff. But even like in 2021, I was like looking back some of these things, talking, and I was kind of shocked to see like in 2021, I downloaded This Naked Mind, and it's all about quitting alcohol. And it was such an incredible book. But then I wasn't really ready for it. I was curious, but it was just like, you know, honestly, I never really wanted to quit drinking forever. I just didn't even think it's something that I could do because it's just part of life and part of every night and you know, going on vacation and all the things. So it was something that I just really didn't think I ever really wanted to quit forever, but I just wanted to do better at it. You know what I mean? And like try to moderate better and stuff. And it's not like I was drinking all day. You know, like couldn't function, you know, it was just like the nightly thing. And so I don't necessarily even consider myself an alcoholic, but I consider it definitely was like what they call gray area drinking. And it's where you're just really, something in your mind just knows that there's something going on and it's not a good path.
Which I appreciate you sharing. And as you're one of my dearest friends. I love you to pieces. And I actually, when you told me that you weren't drinking and then we had met for lunch and I just, okay, that's great. And then, you know, we meet again and fast forward, it's a year plus after, and you're still not drinking. Then I didn't realize that you actually did struggle a little bit with alcohol. I never saw that with you, and I never saw those signs. And so there's a part of me that feels guilty that I didn't. So do you have any advice for me with other friends? And I have several people in my life that are sober right now. Some that I 100% saw the signs, some I didn't. And so what advice can you give me or any of our listeners that might have a friend out there that is struggling with alcohol or maybe has, as you say, the gray area? What are some signs that we can be looking for?
I don't even know. It's funny because when I told my sister Angie that I wasn't going to be drinking anymore, she felt so good.
See, I get it.
Yeah, and
I get it.
She was crying, and she's like, and to me, even like I was kind of shocked at her thing because I don't know. You just keep the stuff inside. I think there's so many women that have exactly what you know, they don't think they're alcoholic, they're drinking, you know what I mean? But something inside is saying, take a look at this, or you know, why are you doing this to yourself every day? You know what I mean? And so I think, because you know, you just go on with life and there's so many people I think who are just having the inside battle. So I don't know. I don't even know like how to even like approach the conversation with someone. You know what I mean? Because I think it's just,
I think it's a sensitive subject, and that's why I want to be talking about this today, because I want to have more open discussion, because as we all know, drinking can be very celebratory. It's part of our norm, our everyday life. Coming home and having a glass of wine, it's been normalized. And for some of us, we can't, like you said, can't process it. And I know from my own experience going through perimenopause that I don't process alcohol like I did when I was younger. It's totally different.
Yeah.
And, I'm so proud of you for listening to these voices inside of you and saying, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot, and let's just, did you wake up one morning and say, you know what? Today's the day. I'm not having anything to drink today.
No, I just knew that I needed, like, I was so close to being there. I was just so sick of it, so sick of how I felt. It was getting close to the end of 2023, and I just knew, okay, I'm going to start the new year, no drinking. And I knew that I needed to do it, just not even like a 30-day or a 90-day. I knew I needed to just do a sober 2024 just to see and actually, stick with it and just say, okay, it was just a hard line. There was no way that I'm going to have a drink at all. And it wasn't like I was quitting forever. At the start, I just had to have it be just the full year and just see how it did. And I kept hearing, so towards that end, I was listening to, there's a podcast called the Sober Mom Podcast. And it was just normal moms. It's such a good podcast. And they didn't have all these horrible rock bottoms, some yes and whatnot, but it was more just like, okay, this is not doing me any favors, getting numb, just numbing out all the things. And so anyways, the more that I heard more and more of those, it gave me I don't know if it's the permission, but also wow, all these other moms are doing this. These other women are doing this. And it sounds like me. It sounds like my story. And so that really kind of just helped so much, just like push me like, I can freaking do this, because I would hear also them saying how much better life is without alcohol. And even like how much better they felt at 100 days and the clarity and all that. So I'm just like, okay, I am going to start out the first year. And honestly, I was so ready then. I can't even remember what month it was, maybe November or December, but I still just kept drinking because I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting until January 2nd. And I still just felt miserable the whole time. But so January 2nd, we did our New Year's thing in Salt Lake celebration. I was so hungover. It was like the worst hangover of my life for like 3 days. So that helped, like, it's just like, okay, this is why we're doing
no time
this.
for joy. We're done.
Yeah. And then I just listened to that podcast. I had a earbud in my head, in my ears all day long, listening to sober podcasts, sober books, those mom things. And I just had to it really was a struggle. And honestly, I was like, in a way, I kind of wish I could have went to rehab, so I didn't have to do the hard part at home. You know what I mean? Because my husband was still drinking. And I just knew that I just needed to do it for me. I didn't need him to quit drinking. I know that's just his own path. And if he ever wants to, that's, great and whatnot. But I just knew that I had to do it for me. I had to first take the wine out of the fridge so I didn't see it. But he was, still drinking. And then I just, what really helped me as well is I would just still continue our, nights and stuff. But I had sparkling water with lime, and which I never liked sparkling water ever before, but I totally love it. I do the tonics. I would do, and I would have it in a wine glass, a pretty wine glass, so that just helped me. I was still having the same.
It's the ritual.
The ritual.
It's the coming together, sitting with your husband at night, chatting, and now it's instead of having the wine poured in the beautiful wine glass, you're now drinking your sparkling water with lemon. And okay, I love this.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, just having the ritual of it. And so that really helped me just to be doing the same thing, but not harming myself, not having the poison. And, it really just, just like having the first 30 days to get through, and it wasn't easy, and I would get triggered, and, I just...
Well, let me ask you this. When you got triggered or the temptation was there, what would you do to change that mindset? What was your go-to?
My go-to was just, I would literally have to just stop and do really deep breaths and just tell myself, like, it doesn't matter, you're still not drinking. It just wasn't an option, and it would just be, even if I would chug my water, that helped, but it just was not letting myself have the option, and really just trying to process it and doing really deep breaths and counting.
So I'm so proud of you. This is incredible that you were able to do this, and you were able to do this on your own. Jeff, was your husband supportive to you during this time period?
Yes, he was. At first, I think he was probably first he's probably like, yeah, right. Because I think I'd always, when I felt like crap or something, I'm like, oh, I'm never drinking again. You know what I mean? I hate this. Why am I doing this? And so I would claim that I'm, not, or I'm not going to drink during this week or something like that. So I was never sticking with my word at things like that I would say. And so he was probably didn't really think that I was really meant it. And at first, I think he was also like, well, what are we going to do? Because I think you can wonder that, being, if he would have told me he was not drinking and I was still wanting to drink, I'd probably be like, okay, well, whatever, I'm still drinking. You know what I mean? And so I can see his side, but he was very supportive. I think he was just quiet at first, and really didn't say much, and probably just really didn't think that I was that serious. And so, but then he sent me flowers, at the 100 days, and he's just been very, very, I'm just so proud of you. He does say it all the time, and in shock when I tell him the number of days that's been, and I don't know, I think we're 600 or something.
That is, cheers to that, Amy. Cheers. That's so impressive. That's a hard journey, and it's a hard journey to do it on your own. Okay, our soup has been simmering for about 20-25 minutes. It's looking super yummy. And what we're gonna do, what I did is I boiled four chicken breasts that I've shredded. So now I'm just gonna add the chicken breast and get that all in here. And then I'm going to add lemon juice. This is the zest of 1 lemon and the juice of 1 lemon. And so there we have our yummy fresh lemon. And then I'm going to add some parm. And I think with the parm, it's kind of really what you want to do. I'd say that was probably about a half a cup. And I'm going to top it with some fresh grated Parmesan that I did earlier as well. I'm going to let this kind of get all incorporated, the taste. And again, this is a soup you can have for dinner on the stove, especially with you and having kids that are always off and running, friends' houses, studying, after school activities, Jeff coming home from work. Everybody, you're at that age or that stage, Amy, where everybody's just kind of at different stages, like sitting at the table having dinner as a family, I'm guessing is probably not happening that often.
Definitely should a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's where you are. You know, when you have preteen and teenagers, everybody's just kind of busy, and everybody's schedules are busy and different, and we can't always get everybody in on the same time. All right, I'm going to add some pepper and some salt. And then what I have, this is one huge bunch of spinach, and I've just kind of chopped it up, and I also chopped up some parsley as well, just because I like the little bite of the parsley. And then I'm going to get that in there, kind of incorporate all of this. And Amy, it's looking so good.
And smelling so good.
Oh, I'm so glad. We're just going to get this plated up, and we'll sit at the table and enjoy.
Can't wait.
All right. Well, I'm going to say a little gratitude first.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little prayer where I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for our friendship. Most proud of you. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I just adore you and so appreciate our friendship, and it's just been amazing.
We have many years of friendship to come. So let's dive in and see how we did. So again, nourish ourselves, nourish our souls, nourish the ones we love around us. Cheers to that, and
Cheers.
Tell me what you think of this easy peasy soup that's ready within 30 minutes. I mean, it couldn't be any easier. Delicious.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Amy, thank you for bringing over this beautiful sourdough bread I've just cut up, and we can dip into our bread, and then we can top with, I don't know if you want a little Parmesan.
Oh yes, definitely.
There's some Parmesan to top, and there's salt and pepper if you want some salt and pepper. You've definitely been on a huge journey these last couple years, and I think the world of you and sharing your story. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Love you.
So much.
Love you so much. And George, you're amazing. I love you too.